I love them, you love them, so please join me in a warm welcome for Misha Collins and Jensen Ackles.
Good morning.
Hi, everyone. Hi. Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Their faces are frozen. As is mine. Were you guys out there doing the Apollo? Somebody out there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a nice wake up.
It's like doing a cold plunge.
It was. Well, thank you for being here. Beach, thanks for being here, I guess. Yeah, sorry, Jared couldn't make it.
The cold is just too much.
It's too much for him. He can't handle cold weather. He has no meat on his bones. No, he's obviously dealing with some pretty bad injuries, so sending him love. And I think he had said, we were talking on Friday, he was like, hey, maybe during the big panel, he's like, oh, can I FaceTime with you guys? So, we might get a rare appearance from him today.
I didn't talk to him. Did you get the lowdown on? They had to delay shooting because of his injury.
Oh yeah, they're completely.
I imagine if he did show up to this, production would be like.
So you can't go to set, but you can fly to Virginia and entertain a rowdy crowd of folks. Yeah, probably not the best look for him. But anyway, how are we doing? This is our first time in Norfolk. We have a lot of Virginia folks here. What about North Carolina? Anybody in South Carolina? No. Great. All right. That's what it is.
So we know the radius.
Well, okay, Florida. Okay.
Jersey.
Boston. All along the eastern seaboard here. I know we got Brisbane, Australia over here. Is that the furthest? Where's anybody from that room? All right.
Yeah, Sydney.
Italy. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Of course.
Sydney.
Oh my goodness.
I've noticed too, you see these fancy new stands?
Easy.
I just said Jared's not here to do this. You playing with this thing all day. All right. Well, we only have a few minutes here, so let's take some questions right here in the front.
That's you. You're in the front.
Just waiting for the mic.
So I know that you've both been involved both in acting and then kind of, I guess producing or working on producing different projects. What is a professional passion project that, schedule, budget, if none of that's an issue, something that you would really love to either act in or produce? And is that different from earlier?
I think, honestly, I think we're both working on producing projects right now, and I think that they fall into that category of the passion projects that we would love to do. I imagine, how do you get much, you're not, I guess, a producer. Are you a producer on Bot Rising?
Mm-hmm.
So, how do you get much more epic than that, right? You're like playing a superhero.
I mean, I use the term producer loosely with the Bot. It's more of a novelty.
Right, you get the
credits. I get the credit. I'm not necessarily producing much there because there is a laundry list of executive producers handling all of the heavy lifting. So I'm more of just a producer in keeping the morale on set
Right.
at a good level.
Which, by the way, Jensen, is something that you're very good at and is an incredibly valuable resource on the set.
Thank you.
You set that tone. I imagine that on Vaught Rising, you on day one set a tone for all the other actors, and they're following suit. I was thinking about that this morning. I was like, I was on the way over here. I was thinking about how you did. You were mentioning yesterday that you were playing music on the set of fought.
Oh, yeah.
Playing music for his castmates in the green room, setting the tone for this like period scene that they, set in a certain period, and playing music of that time to set the tone for the other castmates. But Jensen has always had on set that kind of like shepherding, taking care of the cast, paying attention, getting everybody on the, he's been like a captain of the team.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is a producer role.
Yeah.
But the long story short, I think we're both like producing the things. Mine at the moment aren't actually getting made. But
It's very difficult to get projects made in this industry.
particularly right now,
Yeah.
it's a crazy moment.
Even ones that get made, to continue to keep them going. I mean, Countdown, for instance, like that was, we check a lot of boxes that Amazon was asking us to check, and it still didn't get renewed. So it's so difficult to A, get anything greenlit, but then B, continue, keep it going. It's just it's a tough industry to do stuff in. And yeah, there are a lot of, we've got passion projects that we're, shepherding right now that we're trying to facilitate. But again, it's, I probably have had at least 5 projects that I've built up to the point of like, okay, here we go. This is the time where we get either the yes or the no, and it's been no. So not everything is a given. You try to find something that you think speaks to you, but that will also speak to a broad audience, and then just hope that the folks that say yes or no say yes. And so it's a waiting game.
Yeah, and also a game of numbers. Like you can't just try one thing and hope that that's going to work out. You gotta put a lot of things into the pot and keep trying and not give up.
Right.
That's a hard one. Yeah. I went out to a financier on a project recently that I was like, this is going to be a slam dunk. This is exactly the kind of movie they want to make. And they were like, nah, it's not for us. And I was like, devastated. What? And it took me like 2 days to realize, all right, this is going to happen over and over again. Pick it up, keep going, keep trying. Yep. We're trying to produce Bridgewater together, which was a fiction series, podcast series that I did. And Danielle and Jensen and I are working with Amazon to get that made. Amazon is, giving it a...
So far, so good.
So far, so good. We'll see.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Go ahead, Mish.
Yes, front row again. We're going to favor the elite.
Hi, Jensen. Hi, Jensen. Hi, Misha.
Hi.
Thanks for making it here today. I have a question for you, Jensen, to be honest. After 15 seasons of playing Dean Winchester, what was harder? Carrying Dean Winchester's emotional baggage or resisting the urge to break Misha on set?
That wasn't an urge you resisted.
Yeah, there was no resisting. That was the light lifting. Was bringing him on set. And to be honest, this is probably the difference between me and other actors who really kind of dive into their character and take on all of that, like you said, emotional baggage and stuff. They yell cut, and that baggage is gone. I'm not one of those kind of method type actors, even though Misha was just telling me that I was trying to set the tone of like, music and stuff. So there's a difference between trying to like create a space that feels appropriate for the character or the time or whatever, but then there's also letting the character take over, like, everything in the real world, and I don't do that. It's a start and stop button with me. They say action. I think about where Dean is, what he's going through, what he's dealing with. I try to portray that as best as I can. They yell cut, and I'm back to Jensen.
I had one experience. I know the question wasn't for me, but I like to try this. I had this one experience. I did this independent feature where I was playing a real-life serial killer. Terrible movie, but very interesting experience for me because I was a very young actor, and I tried to dive into that. Like, I'm just going to embody this character. And I read everything I could about him, and I listened to voice recordings that they had of his voice, and I just like tried to transport myself. And I started dreaming his dreams, like dreaming as if I was him, and it freaked me out. And I was like, okay, press the brakes. I am not doing this. I do not want to, because you know, I have those serial killer tendencies. So it was a fascinating experience. Like you really can go,
You can go too far.
Too deep.
Yeah.
Must be difficult to not take that home with you, right?
Yeah, well, I think my family was grateful.
Fair. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's go back row plaid shirt.
Hi, my question for both of you is, what kind of advice would you give to somebody who's older, like 40 plus, and they decided they would completely change their life and get it back instead of whatever they think?
They want to completely change their life and get into acting?
Yeah, like at 40 or older. They're like,
Great.
Just do it.
You've got more than half your life ahead of you know? And you've got a lot of stuff, you know, figured out. You probably know who you are. You've got a bigger kind of a drive than you probably would at 18 or 19 years old, and understanding kind of how the world works, how the industry works. You probably have people that you know that can help you kind of facilitate where you want to be and how you want to get there. So, yeah, I think your tool bag is much larger at that age than it would be much younger. So, I mean, you think about it, I started professionally acting at 18, and by, after 10 years, I was doing Supernatural. So you start at 40 and you keep working at it. Sure, that could happen sooner, it could happen later, but you've got a good 10, 15, even 20 years of getting that going, and then you've got another, many, many years ahead of you. So I don't ever think it's too late to start doing what you want to do.
It's too late for me for the Olympics.
I don't know, breakdancing is, we've seen what's happened there.
I guess maybe the luge or something like that. How much, maybe I'll try that.
Yeah, you can probably hang on for dear life.
Yeah. Right?
I mean, it's what you've been doing for years. Yeah, I don't know. I think, go for it. Whatever you want.
One thing about getting older that I'm finding, one of the greatest things about getting older is that I care less about what other people think. And I'm less overwrought about like, oh, did I embarrass myself? The answer is always yes. Move on. And so much of being an actor is auditioning, getting rejected, dealing with the emotional fallout of that. So you might be poised to handle it very well. Assuming we're talking about you, and it may not be you that we're talking about, but hypothetically, it could be you.
All right, go ahead.
Yes.
I have waited 10 years to ask this question.
Oh, shit.
Probably going to be a bit stale. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Misha, you've heard it many times. Jensen, may I please have a Timothy Amundsen story?
A Tim Amundsen story? Oh, gosh. Sure. Let's see. So the scene in which Dean is in Kane's kitchen, there's a huge fight scene, right? And choreographed it, and it was a big fight scene, and I was like, I can do all the stunts. And we made a very, I don't know if you knew this, we made a very risky decision to have my stunt double be the guy I fight. Which means that I did not have a double. So if I got hurt or something happened or there was a big hit or whatever it is, we had no backup because the guy I was fighting was the guy who was supposed to back me up. But I forget why we did it like that. I think it was such a hand-to-hand combat fight scene and I was so comfortable with Todd, who was my double at the time, that I rehearsed it with him, rehearsed it with him. They hadn't cast that role yet, and I was like, I've just done it with Todd so many
They
times.
hadn't cast him yet.
Right, they hadn't cast that stunt actor yet to come and fight me. And I was just like, well, Todd and I are so comfortable with each other with all this choreo. Can I just have Todd do it? They're like, well, that means you can't mess up, you can't get hurt, you can't, any of this. I was like, I won't. And I didn't, thankfully, but, so we get there the day, we're shooting, Todd and I we're throwing each other into cabinets, we're flipping each other on the table, we're doing, it's massive, we're just destroying the kitchen. And Tim had not been there for all the rehearsal, so he hadn't seen it. And in the scene, he's sitting at the table in the middle of the kitchen. I think he was like peeling potatoes or corn. That's right. He was like shucking corn. And as we're doing this big fight scene, Tim's just watching everything, going like, oh God, no. Everything was right around him, and I'm like slamming Todd on the table, and he's throwing me into the cabinets, and he's like, oh, my cabinets, what's happening? And it threw him so far out of character that, remember we had to stop, we're like, Tim, do you want us to just run through this very slowly as you can see? He's like, yes, you're freaking me out. And so I just remember him, and then of course we see it, he's just totally stoic and he's doing this whole thing, but I do remember he was dying inside. But it's just, a testament to how good he is at turning it on when the cameras are rolling. Yeah, that's one of many. Tim's the best. He's the best. Thank you. Okay, break here. Yep. She's like, oh shit. My favorite response.
Sorry, very short. So one of my favorite things in Supernatural is the friendships that were made, and I love y'all's friendships in the show. So I was wondering, what was your favorite thing to cast like the scene?
A scene, like favorite scene.
Meeting each other.
Oh my gosh.
That's like asking two friends, so what was the best thing you guys ever did? It's a little hard. There's just so much there.
A lot of the French Mistake was a lot of fun because we were, he was not playing himself or not playing Cass, and that lent itself to some really fun scenes. I don't know. We had a lot of fun, which I think goes into what you were saying, why there were so many friendships that were really fortified on that show.
It's funny to think, some of the worst experiences on set were also some of the best experiences. We were just talking about, for some reason, the, I don't know if you remember this, eat the worm, no, don't eat the worm, where it is, worm
Session.
But that night was it was a cold, rainy, winter night at 3 o'clock in the morning in Vancouver. They were miserable conditions, and we were laughing our asses off. Yep. You and I had fun the day that we were crawling out of purgatory, and they had that giant radar fan from the company HurricaneForceWinds.com. And they were literally sandblasting us, we were getting bits
the dirt
of
from that mountain was like the dirt and the sand and the rocks were just getting flung at hurricane force speed into our faces, and we're just taking it.
We were coughing up black for 2 days after that. But we were looking at each other being what are we doing? This is the most miserable I've ever been. So yeah, I don't know. There's just I think that part of that, part of the friendship building between Cass and Dean, and part of our friendship building over the years was just being in the trenches for so long with one another, and all of those experiences in totality added up to being friends both on screen and off. And, right, Jensen?
Yes, pal. Go ahead.
Oh, my turn.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying go ahead and one of them. I'm like, what do you think? Yes, ma'am, with the red hair with you and your hand up. Hi. Oh, and the baby. I didn't see the baby.
Hey.
You might have to yell anyway.
Okay. Hi,
Hi.
I'm Rose.
Hi, Rose.
I kind of hate myself for asking this, but I have to know, who won the wrestling scene in the Trickster episode? When you and Sam are fighting over the wallet, or Dean and Sam.
Thank God, it's not me.
That was Tall Tales, wasn't it?
Earpiece in.
It's one of 5 strips I remember the title of. Yes, I think Tim Isofano directed that too.
What are you?
I don't know what's happening. Who won that? So it was clearly not a real wrestling match. In fact, it wasn't even, I think, scripted that we were supposed to do that. Jared and I just thought it would be funny if we tussled over it, and we did, but in my mind, and in Jared's mind, it was like, how ridiculous and how comedic can we make this? So it wasn't a real wrestle match. Jared and I, offset, have, for stupid reasons, actually tried to wrestle. Jared is very long and lanky, and I'm pretty sure he grows, he like go-go gadget arms, if you guys understand that reference. So it's hard to take that man down, but I've tired him out a few times. You have also engaged in silly boy behavior.
We were at a convention one weekend, I don't remember where it was, and we were wrestling. Oh no, I do remember. It was Jacksonville, Florida. We were wrestling in probably your hotel room, and we were taking turns, taking each other down, and at one point, Jerry...
That was in Toronto.
Oh, that was Toronto.
Yeah.
That's right.
And we cleared out the
That's
middle
right.
of the room.
That's right. Jared and I
for
extended
a
my
wrestling
elbow.
match. You have to understand too, Jared he got really into like UFC and mixed martial arts, and so he was geared up to just wrestle me. And Misha and I were like, all right, this isn't going to go well.
So it was like, no joke, like 4 months of like, it really hurts.
I think I have like a 4-minute video of you guys wrestling in my hotel room. And I was sitting there coaching Misha going, no, you gotta slip your right hand out. He's gonna choke you out. You gotta slip your right hand out. Move.
We got back to hair and makeup like the Monday or Tuesday after that wrestling match and came into the trailer. No, Jared had this like, that's right, a scab on the side of his face. And I was like, Jared, Jesus, what happened? And he was like, you. And I was like, oh!
I think you caught him with your heel. Yeah, we were dumb and did stuff like that more than we should have until the day came when Jared picked the wrong guy to ask to wrestle. And that's when Oscar Chow came at him like a spider monkey, crawled up him like a bamboo tree, and folded him like a wallet. And that was the end of our wrestling career. We all vowed never to do that again.
Jared walked into the green room in Rome and he was like, who wants to wrestle? And everyone was like, no.
Hey, keep in mind, it was like Jason, giant. Ty Olsen was there, big dude. Tomo.
Tomo was there.
who was who actually trains fighting. Like, guys that could, you wouldn't really want to mess with.
They
Who raises their hand? I'll wrestle. And it was over like
less
that.
than, it was like 30 seconds after it went down.
And that was it. I don't think we've ever done anything like that.
His arm was in a sling for like 3 months.
Yep. Yeah. Broke his shoulder in 3 places. Yeah.
It was really bad.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Tomo was like, it's just dislocated.
It was not. It was broken.
And it was more
And
broken.
it was more broken. Yes.
So it was only broken in one place
what's
first.
that?
It was only broken in one place first.
Then Tomo
Got the
Yeah,
second
yeah,
and
yeah. It
third.
was only broken in one. And Tomo was like, I got this. So we're now older, wiser, and don't do that anymore. All right, I think we got time for one more. Yes, sir, in the back. You can just yell it out.
Scooby Natural episode.
Scooby Natural, yeah.
One of the best things I've ever seen. Is there any other crossover opportunity you wish you guys could have done but didn't have the opportunity to do?
Any other crossover object? Yeah, there was. In fact, there was talk of Vampire Diaries, with just like the Impala rolling into whatever that town was called, and Mystic Falls, and just Ian and Paul looking over and going, shit. That I think would have been a no-brainer. Plus, it was the same network, same studio. Because they filmed in Atlanta.
Oh, that's right.
Had they filmed in Vancouver, I think we probably could have done it pretty easily. But that would have been one. And then going outside kind of that network family. I think, anything that was in that world, I think True Blood might have been a good one. And then, but I would say in that world, if we had never
Being
done
out of that world would be great too, like Jeopardy.
Hawaii 5-0.
It's what the Scooby Natural episode was so amazing, just because it was so mind-blowingly crazy, but it was also mind-blowingly crazy that they let us do that.
True.
And we ended up having a screening at the Kodak Theater, which is where they host the Oscars. Before it aired on TV, they screened it at the Kodak Theater, and we got to go and watch ourselves on the screen in the Kodak Theater with a full house, and then get up on stage at the Kodak Theater and do a panel. And it was pretty awesome, because that's the only time we're ever going to be on the stage at the Kodak Theater. It was just epic on every level. And I remember walking from the green room out to the stage, and all of us were like, guys, just let's acknowledge this is it. We're peaking right now. This is as good as it gets.
Yeah, so is there one that you have in mind other than Scooby Natural? No. So you're like, no, nailed it. Nailed it.
That was it.
Yeah, I agree. I think Misha was right. I think we peaked. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here. And real quick, somebody you folks asked, this is the which my man was also a part of.
Yeah.
So excited for you guys to see that when it comes out in April, and we'll see you guys later. Thank you so much.